launch control, and you're moving. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to drive the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S Cabriolet, this one being a 992. Now this is going to be a really quick video. I've got the full POV review and drive up on the channel, as well as a day in the life video with this car, which will link here and below in the description. But this is just going to be a super quick video on how to drive the 992 C4S Cabriolet. First things first, we'll go ahead and open that door, something that can either be done with the key, obviously, or the keyless entry, and that'll pop out this flush door handle here. And upon jumping in, we'll go ahead and close that door. Up here, you've obviously got your door locks, as well as your seat setting memory buttons. And then down below here, we have our mirror and window controls. Below that, as you can see here, we have our rear engine compartment control button, as well as the front open hatch. And then on the left here of the seat, just like about any other car, we have the seat controls right there. Now moving up here just a little bit more, above the Bose speaker, we have our headlight controls, as well as the ignition turn key right there on the left. And putting the car in auxiliary mode, we'll take a look at a few things on the steering wheel here. Now starting on the left of the steering wheel here, we have our voice control button along with our volume control. This is the personalization button, which you can set to do just about any function of the car if you wanted to. For example, the auto start stop, you can set that to activate or disable that if you wanted to. And then below that, we have our skip ahead button for your entertainment. Now moving to the right side, we have the phone call answer button to pick up or hang up the phone. This is our back button, which controls the gauge cluster up there. And this is to toggle through the different menus of the gauge cluster. And then this button on the right will toggle between the right side of the gauge cluster and the left side, which that dial again controls. And then in the middle, obviously, we have our horn here. Below that, we have our drive mode select button, which you can twist to the left or right to toggle the different modes between normal, wet, sport, sport plus, and individual. And then if you click that button, you'll actually get a 20-second sport response. Now coming off our steering column here, on the left, we have our brights and our turn signals, obviously. Below that, we've got our cruise control. And on the right side, we have our windshield wiper controls. Below that, you can see it on the camera, you have your adjustment for the steering column down here. And lastly, on the steering wheel here, we have obviously our downshift paddle on the left and the upshift paddle on the right side. Now moving to the center console, up here we have our PCM infotainment. Below that, we have a few buttons right here. This one on the far left being your front axle lift. The one after that being your exhaust valves, which you can open and close. This one, obviously, your hazards to the right of that, your traction control, which you can hold down to turn on or off. And then on the very right, we have the PASM button, which is the Porsche Active Suspension Management. Go a lot more in depth on what that is in the full POV review and drive video that I shot, which I suggest you go check out if you want a much more in-depth, informative review on all the different mechanical aspects, as well as the driving dynamics of this car. But again, this is just a super quick video on how to drive this 992 C4S. Now moving down, we have our AC vents. Below that, the controls for your AC. In the middle here, we have our fan button, along with either side flanking that, the temperature controls for the passenger and driver seats. This is going to be your volume for the infotainment. And then this is the skip ahead and back button as well. Up here you have your defrosters for the front and rear, and then some more AC controls, and this is to cycle through the PCM as well if you don't feel like using that touchscreen. Now below that, we have the gear selector, which you pull towards you to put the car in drive, push forward for reverse, and you could toggle it to the middle to put the car in neutral. This P obviously puts the car in park, and then that M, when the car's in drive, you can toggle that to put the car in the manual mode and use the shifters. Now don't mind my empty coffee, but here we have flanking either side of the console your seat coolers, as well as the seat heaters, respectively, for the passenger and driver's side. And in the middle, since this is a cabriolet, we have the soft top controls, which you can hold this one down to open, or to close, you hold this one down. And just like that, you shut the soft top roof. We'll go ahead and open that back up again and show you the mesh wind deflector, which goes up in the back. Here is this button beneath the roof controls. Once that closes, you hold that down and it will pop up this mesh wind deflector for the rear. Moving down a little further, we have the parking brake, which you pull to enable and push to deactivate. And we got a little storage here, just have the key in there right now. And moving over to the glove box, nice big glove box in this car, and then the passenger cup holder right there. All right, now we'll go ahead, fire her up, and take her for a quick little drive to cover a few more items. We'll just leave the car in the normal drive mode for now, and we'll adjust that in a minute. But again, to put that car in drive, you're gonna just pull that shifter towards you and get rolling. Now the car is just in the normal drive mode now, and the transmission is in automatic mode. We will go ahead and put the car into sport, turn that dial one click to the right, and we'll also activate the manual paddle shifters by pressing that M right there. And we'll take it up one more notch and put the car into Sport Plus. One more click, and again it is still in the manual drive mode. And in doing so with that mode, it automatically opens the exhaust valves, as you can see here, lit up in red, as well as the PASM, the Porsche Active Suspension Management. And again, we go a lot more in depth on all the mechanical aspects and the driving dynamics in the other two videos I did that are almost 50 minutes long. They're linked in the description, so go check those out if you want to know a lot more about the car. And our PCM infotainment here controls everything from your navigation to the media, your phone, and then a few other car options here, which you can see. Also able to do the exhaust, the auto start stop on the screen here, change the drive modes, as well as extend the spoiler, although that will auto extend when you hit about 60 miles an hour. And we'll hit that sport response on the drive mode button here, which gives you that little extra boost for 20 seconds. Pretty cool. We'll demonstrate the launch control real quick as well. And to do that, all you have to do, you come to a stop here. And what you're going to do is depress the brake pedal all the way and hold the throttle all the way down. It's going to enter launch control and you're moving. So a super simple launch control sequence in this car. A little more complicated than other supercars, such as the McLaren 720S. But yeah, very user-friendly and straightforward car to drive overall. And that just about concludes our super quick how to drive video of the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S Cabriolet, this one being a 992 generation. Definitely encourage you to go watch the other two videos on this car if you want to learn more about it and have a much more in-depth perspective. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.